Hello lovelies and welcome back to my design and lettering channel. Today's video is all about the setup for April. And as we are getting into spring, I thought to use some happy bright colors and daffodils. So if you're here to plan along with me, you know the drill. Get your favorite stationeries. In my case, I use watercolor today, but you can also set it up with any kind of pens you have. As I said, I will use my watercolors. I use the White Night watercolors, which I really love. And for the setup, I will use a lot of cadmium yellow. A bit of cadmium yellow medium. I've put there some Davies Gray. And here I try to mix a shadow color for my bunny, but I didn't quite like the result, so I tried it again and mixed in some Opera Rose, and like that, so much better. But for now, we start to draw the daffodils. For this, I will use my pigment liner in the smallest size. It's the 005. Normally, I would use a bigger size for the outlining and the smaller nib for the shadowing. But as the painting is small, I went in with the 005 for all and tried to have a lighter hand for the As you can see, I already sketched out my setup again to save some time. And in the background, behind the daffodils and the bunny, I've put a way sign, which shows the direction to spring, April, and Easter. And I also sketched out a bunny, and it's my first, and I'm not drawing a lot of animals at all. It's kind of my first animal after childhood. So it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. I think it's, yeah, looking cute. I wanted to have a white bunny, so I'm not drawing in all of the bunny, but just painting the shadow parts. And with my pigment liner gray in the size 01, I outlined the bunny more and also put in some strokes for the outlines, as well as in the on the body as well, to indicate some roundness, some fullness, some fluffiness. Then I painted in the sign in a light mix of burnt sienna or raw sienna, I'm not quite sure. Then I painted in the daffodils, and for that I used a really light layer of cadmium yellow. And I'm not painting in all of the petals, but more the shadow parts. The same I did with the greenery. And then I went in for the petals again and darkened the flowers with a much heavier consistency of cadmium yellow. But again, I focused more on the shadow parts. So I have some white spaces here and there. Then I went in with my Princeton Neptune round brush in the size 2 to draw the tiny little leaves around the way sign. And then I used this paintbrush, which I really love for lettering because it has a kind of stiffer brush. I've got it on a fair, and it's the Lineo Hobby Robustic Synthetic Brush in the size 4. And like I said, for lettering, it's super. I mixed a light green here and used yellow green and cadmium yellow, as I wanted to have a really light, happy green. But I muted it a tiny bit with cadmium red light, but just a really, really tiny bit. See? Perfect for lettering. My quote for April is, "Spring, a lovely reminder of how beautiful change can truly be." I think everyone is scared of change because it's the unknown, it's something new, but it truly can be something very beautiful. So let's not fear the change in April. And maybe start something new, learn something new. I wanted to decorate the page a bit more and took out my vintage style washi tapes, which I will link in the info box below. In the set is a washi tape with these butterflies, and I thought they are perfect for my spring theme. I wanted some kind of Dutch door, but wanted to try out a new style. Normally I would have cut out the right side of the pages, but this time I tried out to cut the corner. What do you think? How do you find that? Let me know in the comments. And with this, we are done with the front page. Let's move on to the calendar page. Again, I started with outlining my daffodils with the 005 pigment liner. The strokes for the shading, I really do light-handed in a curvy, roundy, flicking motion to indicate some structure of the petals and in which direction they point. I darkened the inner part of the daffodils where the shadow would sit naturally. The leaves of the daffodils are long and pointy, so you can really fill these pages with them. And then I go in with this Kelly brush in green to write the title of the page in this lettering style. Then I use the Pit Artist pen in ivory to mark the header for the calendar, and also to outline the calendar itself. I really love these pens because the nib, it's more on the harder side, so you can have these thick downstrokes, but also really nice, fine, pointed lines as well. With my Pigma Micron in gray, in the size 01, I write the days in the header and also the numbers for the days. Then I took out my Tumbo in the color N79 to give my title some drop shadow. With my lighter Tumbo, I can't read the numbers of it anymore. I think it's the N, I have no idea. I will link it in the info box, but it's a light warm gray. And with that I drawn in some more shadows. Then I thought that the right side of this page is a bit empty, so I've drawn some more daffodils there. And here you can see my sketching process of how to draw a daffodil. I draw an oval where I want my daffodil to sit. Then I draw a smaller circle in the middle for the trumpet kind of thing of the daffodil. And the placement of that circle will determine the angle of the flower. And around that, I put 6 lines where I will draw my petals around. And I would draw these lines in a curvy motion, so the petals are not looking too straight. It's nicer when they curve upwards or downwards. And that's it, my calendar page for now. The next pages are my habit tracker and content planner pages. I write the titles again with this curly brush from online. And with the Pit Artist pen in ivory, I mark the headers for the boxes again. With my Tombow, I line the rest of the boxes because I still wanted the whole setup to be happy and bright, but also didn't want it to be too kitschy, too corny. So I tried to use one bright color and the rest to be more muted or lighter. With my 005 pigment liner, I wrote in the titles for the boxes, which are sport, go for a walk, dog training, Instagram health, and video status. I wrote the days for my health tracker and noticed that I had one day missing there. It's not perfect, but I think I fixed it good enough. I made a note section there on the right side, and decorated the page with my butterflies I had left from before. And that's it for my habit tracker and content planner page, and we can move on to my weekly spreads. As you can see, I sketched out some daffodils on the right side, but did that on the wrong page. Yeah. So I had to sketch that again. Rounded the corners. And then went in to decorate the page. Of course, some daffodils again. Whoa, that crossing was fast. I outlined the flowers, the petals, and then went in with the shading to give the petals some structure. I painted them in, again with cadmium yellow first, and then darkened the shadow parts with cadmium yellow medium. By the way, if you like this video so far, I would be happy if you give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so I can show you more of my upcoming videos. I wrote April on the left side, and under that I've put there a mini calendar, and under that a section for notes and to-dos. And these are my made to-dos for the month. So they don't have a special date where I want to have them done, but just an overall to-do that I have to do in the next month. The boxes for the days I will mark with a light wash of yellow, and on the next pages green and red, but it's a really light wash. While that had to dry, I went in for my calendar page and painted the daffodils there as well, because I found the page was missing something. And then back again to my calendar, to my weekly spread to fill some empty spaces there with this light crisscross design. I outlined the pages of my daily spreads with a black pigment liner. And then went in with a Calvi brush in yellow to mark a space for the headers of the dailies. Here I wrote in the name of the days and also the numbers, which I must confess that I don't like. Would be nice if I have done that differently, but yeah, it's okay for now. And now let's flip through the pages again. How do you like the setup? Which page do you like the most? What is your theme for this month? Let me know in the comments. And I really hope you have a wonderful day and hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!